Good day, everyone. Kathy with another episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. And today I'm going to be making a sympathy card. And I'm just going to be using two stamp sets. I'm going to be using, this is an older one by GinaK, but it is still available. This is the Fancy Feathers stamp and die set. And then I'm just going to use this one sentiment, You're Always on My Mind, from the GinaK Sending Flowers stamp set. I just want to use that one sentiment. You can use any that you have. Now, I'm doing a purple card today. This is GinaK's Wild Wisteria, 10 inches by 7 inches. I scored it at the 5-inch line, folded, increased with my bone folder. Then I have a piece of white cardstock that's 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. That I'm going to stamp on and put on the inside. Then I have a piece of black that is 6 3/8 and 4 3/8, and I've already cut out the feather dies from the center of that, so didn't need to waste paper. And a piece of white that is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, and that's going to go together. All right, I'm going to start by stamping just on my inside so I can get that done and that's out of the way. I have taken these 2 little feather stamps and I just put them on a regular old glass block, and I'm just going to hand stamp those. And I'm going to put these in the Wild Wisteria color. Oh, and I've got a strip of Wild Wisteria that was left over when I made my card. I'll use that on the card too. And I just put these feathers down kind of in a random swirly pattern. And I'm just going to put that over here in this corner. See which way I want to go with the feathers. I think this way. And I'm just going to add a little pressure down. Now, if I would have done this with my Misty, I could have taken my time and stamped a couple of times. But it came out nice. I'm just going to clean that off. I'm going to leave those on because I'm going to do more stamping with those, but not with the Wild Wisteria. Okay, so this is going to go on the inside. And it's ready to go on now. Okay, and I can set that aside to dry. All right, now I'm going to take my white cardstock. And what I want to do is I want to put my feathers kind of in an arrangement like this. But I want to stamp my one sentiment down in that bottom corner. But I also need to stamp the flowers. So this is going to take a lot of doing. And I'm going to line that up right at the top of my mat up here for now. And that should stamp it nicely. All right. So I want to put You're Always on My Mind down here in this corner. And I'm going to use the VersaFine Clair Nocturne. You can use any black that you prefer or any color you prefer. You don't have to make your same card the way I do. That is beautiful. All right. And I'm going to do one more sentiment on here. And that is from, I'm done with that set. That's all I needed out of that one set. Now, there's a couple on here that I like. And I like this Hope is a feather that reminds us we have wings. And I like that it is kind of angled down. So I thought that would look nice between the feathers. But don't worry, these are going to be colored in. These aren't going to be left black and white. Well, at least I'm hoping. A little bit of paper on there. All right, so that I'm going to put down. Perfect. All right, now here's where I'm going to get myself in trouble. Hopefully not. Now, I want my feathers here, but I didn't want to, this doesn't cut out the outline of the feather. It just gives you the inner aspects. So what I did is I went and cut these out on a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to use as a template. So I'm going to put my feather like this, and then then I know where to put that. And hopefully I can get the feather lined up. I'm going to use this feather. So if I just kind of put my feather here, and I'm just going to slip this around it. I'm just using it as a template. I could use that and just stamp right inside it. But I wanted just to have an outline. All right, now I'm going to do this in Wild Wisteria. And it matches the color of cardstock. And it needs a little bit more right in that one spot. And that's right up here. That looks good. And see, now when I put that feather down, it will be filled in. All right, now clean that one off, and then I'm just going to do the other feather. And I'll position it the same way. I'm just using it as a positioning tool. I tried cutting it out of stencil plastic to make a stencil so that I could just ink blend inside. But the material was too, this die is too delicate to cut out of the real thick plastic. You know, and I don't know why I needed to do that, because I can just stick the stamp right on top of here. Why didn't I think of that? But anyways, I will use that for a stencil when I want to just die cut. All right, so then I can just pick it up. That's easier. Don't have to go to all that trouble. But now if I just wanted to do a stencil on the background, I could easily just stencil, color in. But I wanted to stamp. I don't know why I thought I needed to do that all-involved project, which took me about a half an hour to figure out. Oh, you know, that's life sometimes. And that stamped beautifully. Okay. And then again, this one will just go right here. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to use this strip of purple, and I'm going to put it along here when I'm done. But I'm going to take this block that I have the two feathers on, and I'm going to stamp it in light gray. But I want to show you what happens if you just take this soft stone and put it on the ink pad and stamp. You get a really dark impression. And I don't want a dark impression. So what I'm going to do is just take a blending brush and paint my ink on. And I'll show you on here. And you get a much lighter image. It's like you were stenciling. So that's what I want to put here. And I'm just going to kind of put this around the card. But I didn't want to put it down below where I have the sentiment from there. And now this one, I'm going to go right here. And now I think I can just take one off and use one. So I'm going to put one down here. Maybe one there. Just kind of like your stenciling. It gives a very light coloring versus this really dark color. And then one here. And I think that looks good. I don't think I need to do any more there. All right. Didn't clean that one off, so I will do that now and just set this aside. Okay. You see that we have a nice little, it's like a stencil background, but not with stencils. Not with stencils. Get my words right here. All right, now I'm going to put this onto that black background. And put it on the card, and then I'll start adding the embellishments and all the other pieces parts. So this could be, it could be for a sympathy card, or it could just be for someone who's going through a rough time, and let them know that you're always thinking of them. So you could do this in other colors. I'm going to get my Lay It Straight tool. Okay, 5/16. Lay that right on there, and then put that right in the corner. And don't shift it after you get it down there. All right. Now I'm going to take this piece and just lay it there. I don't want it to go over my feather, but I wanted to get my feather on here first. So I'll use this as my gluing spot. Get over there. One of those days. The weather is so much nicer lately. We went from hot and humid to a little chilly overnight, which was very nice. I was able to open the windows and let some fresh air in. Turn the air conditioner off. Now, you could also use double-sided sticky tape on the back of the black paper before I cut it out, and then I wouldn't have had to use the glue. Whatever you have and whatever works for you, that's what you do. And if you don't have this stamp, see what you have in your collection that would work to make something similar. Use what I am doing as a starting point to come up with your own creation. You don't have to duplicate my card. You can just be inspired by it to make something of your own. Because I did have someone comment that I needed to use more available products that weren't so expensive. And I said, well, I use what I have, but I do buy a lot of stuff from flea markets, garage sales. My local library has a craft exchange where you can take a craft product in and exchange it for something else. But then I also save up and budget money. I'm not quite sure what she thought more available products were. I don't have a local craft store anymore. I have to travel 1 hour either way. So if I can't get it online, it waits till once a year when I go to a rubber stamp convention. Yeah, I'm not sure I really want to put that on there. I don't think I do. All right, I'm going to leave that off. All right, I'm going to take some silver pearls, though, to put on here. That's a problem for me. I'm not sure where to put embellishments. Well, I know I want to add some more. All right, I'll put some down in this corner. Okay, I think that's it. That's all for this card. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I can inspire you to come up with your own design using the products you already have, and see what you can create. Just have fun with it. Don't get stressed out that if you don't have this particular stamp or die. See what you have that you can make work in your own way. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.